Hello, everybody. It is a new week. It is a new opportunity for me to spread the word about the good folks at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. PolarBearPHA.com. Right now is such a good time to replace your AC unit. First of all, it's hot. It is hot outside, like miserably hot. You want to be comfortable. There's nothing like walking into like a crisp, air-conditioned home. And if you don't have that right now, well, it is not out of your reach. You can reach out to my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They're family-owned and operated. They're locally owned and operated. They're veteran-owned and operated. That is the triple threat, and they have got such great discounts, Ryan.
Literally something that Steve was talking about, who's the owner, is it's rebate and tax credit central right now. So there are municipalities that are giving rebates, but once the money's gone, it's gone. So if you're looking for a new AC, upgrade everything, probably want to get in soon.
You got to get in. And again, if you're uncomfortable, maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, we can't afford a new system. Like Ryan was saying, there are rebates, there are incentives right now. But again, when they're gone, they're gone. So you want to get that taken care of. And you know, maybe you just need a system checkup. Maybe you feel like your system is still running, but maybe you have to run it a lot harder to get it to that desired temperature that you're looking for. That's where they come in. They'll do a complete system checkup. They'll change the filters. They will make sure it is running like a top, so you're not spending all that extra money that could go to maybe a new system next year if you're looking to get one. Again, Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air, such wonderful people. They're family owned. They're all so wonderful. I can't say it enough. Wonderful.
Wonderful people.
Said it again. PolarBearPHA.com. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air is a proud sponsor of the podcast.
I'm going to say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Wink and our necklace says best friends forever.
Actually, you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever. No offense, but sometimes you grow apart, and maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. This is Sadie. It is Monday, and I've got a lot of things on my list that I'd like to talk about from the weekend, things that I've read, things that I've been doing. And yes, it is incredibly exciting what we've been doing around this house. And by we, I mean me. And by doing, I mean watching The Mortician on HBO Max. This show is so good. First of all, I have my co-host here with me today. This is Ryan. Ryan has not watched one episode.
And I'm good.
Why won't you watch this show?
It just doesn't seem like something I want to watch.
You're the one that brought it up to me because you told me about...
Because of the person that was burning multiple bodies for cremation and just passing out ashes. It just seemed weird.
But there's so much more to the story.
It hasn't sucked me in at all. I've been around while you've had it on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, okay.
You're just not interested.
Nope.
Okay, so this show is called The Mortician. It's on HBO Max, and it's about this family, and they run a funeral home. For multiple generations, they own this, and they come to find out they have been shoving people into the cremation machine. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what it's called. The crematorium, the cremation. Cremator? I don't know if that's what it's called, but you know, it's a 4x4x8 in length. And that's how big this oven is. So you can comfortably, you know, you can fit one person in there, and it will take 3 hours for them to be cremated. I don't know why this is so hard for me to get out. But what they were doing is they were trying to shove as many as they could in. And then I don't want to give anything away, but there's murder. And this family is just so messed up, and they just were like pillars in the community. And I don't know. I'm obsessed with the show. Again, it's called The Mortician. I'm not going to take a lot of time to talk about it because A, I don't want to give it away. And B, I don't have a willing participant in you.
Oh, I'm willing
to listen to, but I also don't want to give it away.
Okay.
I don't want to. Okay, but I'll give a little bit more away.
Bring it.
It's just this crazy story of people that you would never think would do these things. And they were, again, pillars of the community. And then you find out that they are like shoving multiple bodies into the cremator. And it's just, it's so disturbing. It's really good. You should watch it, everybody, if you like this kind of thing, which Ryan doesn't.
Were they descriptive? And okay, so you mentioned it is a small space. right?
The oven is small.
And they were shoving bodies in like a paper sack, trying to put them in.
So for reference, like I said, it takes 3 hours to cremate a body. And so feasibly in a day's work, you would have time to cremate about 3 bodies a day, they said, because you have to it has to first of all, it has to get to insane temperatures in order to cremate the body, but then it has to completely cool down before you can put the next body in.
Because you're also going to get the ashes out.
You got to get the ashes out. So the guy that they're saying did all these awful things with his family, he is still to this day, he just got out of prison, which is why I think they did this documentary. He got out in 2023 and he still says to this day, I didn't do anything wrong. What is the big deal with commingling? You think there aren't some ashes that are left behind when the next body goes in? Like, this is not that big of a deal. As they get deeper into the case, they realize he was also taking people's teeth out to get the gold fillings. They said that he was making $20,000 to $30,000 a month just on teeth and popping those gold fillings out. Isn't that crazy?
Did he live in Miami Beach? Why were there so many people with gold fillings?
Well, he lived in California and they serviced all of California. So Los Angeles and all the ritzy kind of places. And I guess everybody went to this family. But again, it's got murder. It's really twisted. It is so sad. They said that when this guy, his name's David, when David took over the family business, they could cremate like 300 and something people a year. That was their number. It was like 340 people a year was about the average cremation. Just because you could do 3 in a day doesn't mean they actually hit that goal, 3 in a day. And by the end, he was cremating thousands and thousands, over 10,000 people a year. And what's so weird is he didn't get caught until the environmentalists got involved. And they're like, this billowing black smoke that's coming out of your business, what's up with that? Again, I don't want to give it away. I'm only on episode 3. But if you like documentaries and you like because there are things in this where you will be like, what? You don't see coming. I like it so far. I'm thoroughly impressed with it so far. But I think HBO and HBO Max, they always churn out some really good documentaries. Is that who works with Ken Burns? No, that's PBS. PBS works. Who has better documentaries?
Ken Burns documentaries are the best things in the world because they're like 8 to 14 hours long and he goes into every single piece of it. I'll listen to Ken Burns talk for hours on end. He is fascinating, dude.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. And I know he did one about country music. He did like a whole series about country music, which was phenomenally good. Phenomenally.
He also just takes subjects that, I mean, he's done the Civil War, Vietnam War, he's doing the Revolutionary War, but like he takes subjects that are just kind of mundane. Baseball, the Brooklyn Bridge.
And he kind of puts on all the work for you.
Yeah.
And then he just gives you.
And you're like, listen, I'm going to tell you about the Brooklyn Bridge. And you're going to be fascinated by me telling you about these people building a bridge.
And you are.
You are.
I love documentaries. You know, but we like different kinds of documentaries. There's this documentary, and I think you can find it on HBO Max. It's called There's Something Wrong
about
with
Mary.
No, that's a movie. And this is way deeper, but it's called There's Something Wrong with Aunt Diana. I think that's what it's called, or Diane. And it's about this woman. She goes camping with her family, like brother and sister, and she's grown, her husband. And after they're done camping, they leave, and all the kids jump in the van with her. And she ends up driving on the wrong side of the interstate. And out of like the 7 people in her car, mostly children, like only 2 survived. They're saying that she was drunk, she was high, but her family said she didn't drink. She didn't do drugs. She didn't drink. We had just left her at the campsite. No one knows why. What's wrong with Aunt Diane? That is a chilling documentary, but if you were into documentaries, it's a really good one. Do you have any ones that you like other than Ken Burns?
Well, no. So about the Ken Burns thing, he was talking about how he was doing wars. And he's like, been doing a lot of wars. I don't think I should be doing any more wars until he did. I think it was like the war or World War. I don't know if the war was about World War II, I think. Yeah. And he was like, I shouldn't be making any more war ones, but he was with his kids doing something. And one of the teachers was complaining that a lot of people in the class, an overwhelming majority, thought that America fought with the Germans to defeat the Russians in World War II.
Really?
And he's like, what is going on?
Does that surprise you, though?
I need to do this because do people not know what happened?
What actually happened?
What actually happened? And so that's why he's like wanted to make it, because he's like, it's just going to be forgotten.
Well, isn't that crazy? We're at a time in life and time in society in the world where you're able to get all the information at your fingertips, and yet kids don't know who America fought with in the World War.
Yeah, but they know that Logan Paul makes prime drinks. And,
that's painful. So I kind of become a little bit obsessed with the Mortician thing. Yeah. And so it's being fed to me now on all my social media. And there's this article that was fed to me. This is in People magazine. And it's a TikTok woman. Her name is Annie Owen. Now, she's not just a TikTok influencer. She's actually a mortician herself. And she said she's always wanted to be a mortician when she was growing up. Her dad told her, well, that's just a man's job, which lit a fire under her, which is so cool to hear. And then she became a mortician in her town. And she says that there are 5 things as a mortician she would never do in her life after being one for so long.
There are 5 things she'd never do.
She says
in general.
Just in general. First, I want to tell you that she said that the TV show 6 Feet Under and the movie My Girl are the most accurate representations of what the job is.
My Girl.
Because she says that a lot. She says a lot of people, when they think of a funeral director, you think of like a scary old man.
Yeah.
And it's scary and it's dark and it's dingy. And she says no, that's a huge misconception. But she says there are 5 things, and you can actually go check this out on TikTok if you want to. It's a series that she started called 5 Things I Won't Do Because I'm a Mortician. And some of these I'm like, yeah, of course, but some are kind of left field because I'm like, how many of these have you seen? But these are all from people that she has worked on. She says she refuses to go swimming in a lake, any lake.
Wait, is this because she has seen so many people die? And so she's like, people die in the lake all the time. So
she says, Annie Owen, she shares the list of things that she refuses to do because of what she's seen, such as swimming in lakes.
Okay.
She says, cut that out. Don't do that. Which this next one I did when I was growing up, but I don't think you can do it now. I think you'd get caught so quick. Joyriding in the back of a pickup truck.
That used to be a very common thing.
Used to be a thing.
People used to do that all the time.
I didn't even know people were still doing it enough to die where she sees multiple and says, oh, I'll never do that.
Like, I don't think there's a 70s movie where there's not someone riding in the back of a truck.
I know. It was totally normal at one time. And you drive through town. You drive through town and you would see people and you'd pass cops and nobody even said anything.
What right now, you're driving down Harmony Avenue, which is the popular street in Fort Collins, and you see someone in the back of the truck. Wouldn't it it'd be like smoking on an airplane.
It'd be like,
everybody would just turn around. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. So we have swimming in lakes. That's number 1. Number 2, joyriding in the back of pickup trucks. Number 3, and this is one that I will admit I'm doing currently, which should I admit that? Yeah, because it's not like a hardcore thing. But lately I have been getting night sweats like a mother. And so my sister gave me some medicine to take, and it has made it so much better until I can get to my doctor in a few days. She's like, just take these to tide you over. Well, this is number 3 on the list, taking other people's medication.
Which you and your friends and your sisters, it's just like, I got some yellows. You want some blues?
Okay.
I got some reds.
First of all, I don't sound like a drug addict like that. Yellows and blues. Sure. Oh, that's terrible. Should I even say that?
Well, you already did.
What am I going to do? I know I could edit this out, but I won't. Riding motorcycles without protection.
Yeah.
You know what is so weird to me? When a motorcycle person will drive, you'll be parked in your car and waiting at a light and they drive through.
So that's actually safer. Splitting is safer.
How is that safer?
Because if you are, you're in 2 lanes.
Okay.
And there's a motorcycle that is sitting there parked behind a car.
Okay.
Oftentimes, not oftentimes, but on a more regular basis than getting hurt splitting, the car won't notice a motorcycle.
Oh.
And will rear end the motorcycle.
Oh, right? That's so scary.
So splitting is a way to get around. It's not for motorcycles to cheat. It's to be safer. And there's a couple rules they have to follow, right? They have to go under 15 miles an hour while they split. They have to, I think it's, there's a couple other things, but they have to stop before the end line. They can't swerve in front of the other car when they're doing that.
Makes sense.
But lane splitting is technically safer than being behind a car because you could get rear-ended and just be done because people aren't paying attention for motorcycles.
See, I always thought when I saw people splitting, as you say it is, I always thought these bastards are breaking the law.
Not cheating.
They're trying to get right in front of everybody.
Nope.
It's like the equivalent of, it's turning into a one lane and there's somebody that always speeds up and tries to cut in front of everybody.
The zipper method?
That's what I always thought that the motorcycles are doing, but you say that's a safer thing to do.
Safer thing to do. And then when there's two lanes merging into one, the most efficient way to do it is to zipper, which is just basically everyone pulls up and then alternate one in, one out. Like you merge.
Or if you just cut the person out that tried to get in front of everybody.
I've seen people.
You go off spite, folks.
Oh man. How dare you? You're not cutting. You're not doing this.
I always think that too, but then sometimes you accidentally will find yourself in that situation.
No, I understand, but theoretically, and this is just people having differences of opinions on what should be done, but the fastest way and what municipalities will tell you to do when two lanes are going into one is take it up to the limit there and then zipper in. So it's just one in, you come together.
Okay, I did not know that. Now I will feel less angry when I see it. I'll be like, way to be safe, guys.
But what happens is one person is like, well, I need to change lanes and it's like a half mile. So I'll wait and zipper in. And then you see a car be like, after you get in a half mile back, they'll just zoom in. And then people get so pissed off. Like, you're cutting, you should wait, but you're supposed to do that.
Okay. That's good to know. I did not know that. And then the final thing of the 5 things this mortician says she will not do because she has seen some things. And that is kind of in the same vein of the motorcycle riding without protection. And that's cutting people off in traffic. That lights people up and then they kill each other.
Yeah, the road rage thing. Which
rage.
is weird because like I saw a video of people like if people acted like they do in cars when they're walking.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Right. No,
and people are so polite walking. Oh yeah, have at it. Do this. But you get in a car and for some reason people turn into the worst version of themselves.
It's really true.
Yeah.
So enough with all the death and gloom, and although it does kind of make me excited for fall coming up. I know you're saying, whoa. I've seen
summer started a week ago.
I know. I've seen some memes where people say the day after 4th of July, I start putting my fall stuff up and I think, oh my God, Ryan would divorce me if you came home and there was Halloween stuff up on July 5th. Even I know that's a little bit pushing. But go check out that documentary and follow this girl. Her name is Annie Owen on TikTok because she posts some really interesting things about being a mortician and kind of the things that the misconceptions that people have about it. It's really interesting. The next thing I wanted to talk about, not what I'm watching on TV, but I read this and I thought, how freaking awesome is this? Okay, this is so troubling to me, but this is an article, again, People magazine. People's just the best. This woman has gone viral for opening her 2nd grade time capsule 25 years after making it in 1999. So do that. Ugh. I know. Isn't that troubling? I'm like, wait, let me read this title again because I had to read it a few times. Woman goes viral for opening her 2nd grade time capsule 25 years after making it in 1999.
All that makes sense and it should be easy math, but when you said it, it frightened me.
I know, it really got my heart working too, but I love this idea. Did your school ever do this, a time capsule? Because we did. I
think we did, but I then also forgot about it the next day.
I kind of remember doing it, but it's one of those things where that could have also been a movie that I watched.
You know what? Yeah. I saw a photo that someone did it and I thought it was me.
Yeah, that's me. Though this girl for real did it. And it was something that she put together at school. So she was the one that kind of initiated this in 2nd grade, which is really kind of impressive for a 2nd grader to say, I think we should do a time capsule.
Yeah. So
I don't know where, it doesn't say where she heard it.
Which Britney Spears album was in the time capsule?
Only the best, the first one. But she said she made the time capsule in Texas and then she ended up moving and she moved multiple times. And then she went back in wintertime one year for Christmas to visit some other family who had stayed behind. And she was like, oh my God, this is the year I need to open. It's 25 years, which yay for you for remembering that. Because again, I would either open it like 2 years later or I would.
Can I just stop you for a second?
What?
Yay for you.
Did I say that?
Are you incorporating that? And you're
Did I say that?
Are you turning into the best version of yourself?
I'm trying. God, I'm trying so much. I really am.
Yay for you.
But now you have to keep in mind, this girl was just in second grade, but this was also Y2K.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so think of all the crazy things that we were seeing during Y2K. And if you were not alive for Y2K, then God dang it, you're just too young to listen to this. She actually, one of the things that she did was she drew a picture. She drew a picture of herself holding a baby. And she said that was a touching surprise because she has 2 kids now. But I'm like, well, that's not okay.
Odds are that's going to happen.
She says, I don't remember ever wanting to be a mom growing up. I never wanted to be a mom. And so the fact
I'd say that not a lot of people when they're that young are thinking, I'm sure there are some, like our youngest daughter wants to have kids. Like she wants to be a mom, but not a lot of second graders
are interested in that kind of.
Yeah.
So then her teacher got involved and decided to add stuff as well. And some of her friends, she said she hardly remembered anything that she put in. So this was truly a surprise. I mean, 25 years, of course, you're going to be kind of surprised. But one of the things that she put in the time capsule was a Walmart catalog that had come out for Y2K. And if you look at the things, first of all, here's something that's shocking to me. TVs back in the day were so much more expensive than they are now.
And they weighed 1,000 pounds.
They weighed 1,000 pounds, but there were prices in the TV, $699 for a TV.
Yeah, but technology always goes down, right? Like computers were like $6,000. The first like VCR was probably like $1,000. Technology prices go down.
Well, but it's not just technology because she also, this girl seems like she just buried a bunch of catalogs. She buried a Macy's catalog and she found that prices were even more expensive back then than they are now. This is something that we are just totally, it's like a slow burn that we didn't even realize was happening.
Prices were more expensive.
Prices were more
Depends
expensive.
On the thing, because like t-shirts now, like I go in looking for t-shirts the other day and it's like $54. I'm like, well, 54 for a t-shirt? What's that about?
Apparently, and I'm looking at pictures and it does kind of look like it. She also had some toys. She had some random stuff in there, but she said the biggest thing was the picture that she drew of herself having a baby. And also the catalogs of how much things cost, which is so smart of her to do at a young age. Because what second grader would be like, I want to look back and see what things cost in 25 years. Like that had to have been influenced by a parent, maybe. I thought this was really, really cool. It's a great concept because if you think about it, there's no longer a need for time capsules because we have what's called time hop on social media.
Yeah.
Where you can look back and say, wow, this 14 years ago, I was doing this. That's so great.
Also, I don't know if I would have had the urge for this before social media.
Yeah.
But I have zero urge to go to a high school reunion.
Oh,
zero urge. Know what everybody's doing. I'm good.
Isn't that so true? I remember going with my parents when I was little to their high school reunion and meeting all their friends and it was truly like, oh my God, look what you've done with your life. You've lost weight. You've gained weight. You're rich. You're poor. You married the guy in high school. You went to Paris and met someone else. I mean, it was truly like a bag of tricks that you just didn't.
I had no idea.
You had no idea. And then you were like, can you believe Shirley married that guy that, and it was just shocking. I remember driving home because it was in Fort Collins and I remember driving home with them and they were just talking nonstop about what these people were doing and they couldn't believe it. Yeah. And it's true now with social media, I know what people are doing and everybody kind of knows what I'm doing unless they, not everybody pays attention. But I'm saying if I am ever curious about what happened to Shirley in second grade, I can just type that in. And easily probably find them.
Yeah. So that's what made it like, right.
And stalk them for 3 days.
Time capsules, high school reunions.
No need for that. But isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Again, she put some other things like toys. We did a time capsule at my school and I could not tell you.
What year were you supposed to do it?
Okay, hold on. Let me do the math. Okay.
Carry the one.
When I was in second grade, I'm 42 now. So we're going to subtract 35 years about-ish.
Sure.
So 35 years ago, Ryan, I can't remember what we had for dinner yesterday.
No,
I couldn't remember. So if they were like big opening of the, I would miss it because I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But I remember putting something in there, but I can't remember what it exactly was. See, but I wasn't like this astute little girl in second grade. I was like a flight. Well, I am still, but.
Did you, so speaking of time capsules, those are supposed to be things typically that the way I understand them, that you can find while you're still alive, right?
Right.
Some people have them where they open these in a long time and see what we were up to then, right? Which again, why do you need to do that now? Did you hear about the John Malkovich movie that they made, but it's in a vault and it won't be released for like, I'm going to find it, but I'll make it up right now, 150 years.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Stop it.
Yep. I'm looking it up right now.
I feel like it would make more sense if it maybe after he died. Okay, he died, so now we're going to release this movie. Is this a movie that he made?
100 Years is an upcoming experimental science fiction short film written by and starring John Malkovich and directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Two heavy-hitting names.
The film was produced by French company Remy Martin to promote Louis XIII, their cognac, which I've had and is very expensive. It takes 100 years to create the cognac, and the movie is locked in a safe for a century. So it's going to be released in 100 years.
Which will be dead, Ryan. Does it make you sad in any way that we will not live to see this? Think about how many things have not aged well with time, with the changing of the times. And I got to wonder, was there anything in this movie where John Malkovich now is like, damn, I hope I'm dead when this comes out because this is not going to age well?
If we took it back to 1925,
right?
Women just got the right to vote. They can't do much else. The Civil Rights Act is still 40 years away from being signed. Like, there's a lot of weird things that are happening in 1925 for that film to be released.
And to think we probably won't live to see it.
Are you?
So what's the math on that? What's the math? How old will we be?
How old will
carry the one, Ryan? Carry the
35, 134.
Okay. You know we're not going to live that long.
I don't know. They're doing weird stuff now.
Oh, stop it. You're way too positive for a Monday. We're going to be long dead. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast.
You'll be long dead.
Be sure. I know I will.
Science it up, baby.
I'm telling
Science.
you. I'm long gone. I've been eating bread all weekend. Like literally, we went to a farmer's market and we found this place that sold bread, like sourdough bread. And I just keep eating it. Like just chunks of bread. I'm out of control. I need you when I go to bed tonight to just please throw it away.
It was pretty adorable because we're looking through things and I'm like, Dad, do you want to get some bread? And you went wild card on me. You're like, I'll take the green chili sourdough. And I'm all like, what?
I know. I thought I'd go nuts. And I've been putting like this jam that we got at the farmer's market on it. And it's just, and I know that makes it sound very earthy, but we never go to the farmer's market. So
but I liked it.
I want to name drop it a few times.
Oh, yeah. But we went to the Colorado farmer's market. It's not the Des Moines, Iowa farmer's market. Let's be clear.
A lot less goats. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Be sure to, if you wouldn't mind, follow on social media, leave a review, and we will be back tomorrow. And if you've missed any of the previous episodes, they're all so very different. So maybe go and take a listen back to that. If you haven't. See? Good. Never know how to end this stuff.
You do it so well. It's so natural.
Yeah. So over the weekend, we went and saw my parents at their house. And I don't want to brag in any way, but they have an estate gate. Now, I know what you're thinking, but you wouldn't know it. I mean, I don't want to say that in a bad way, but I'm just saying they're just everyday people who just don't like the outside world. Do you get what I'm saying? It's less of a Dallas estate situation, that TV show, and it's more of like we'll shoot you if you get on our property. So there's a gate here.
And your mother has 14 signs that say that.
She does. She's so kind. Anyway, she really is. It's very funny that she does that. They just picked up the phone and they called my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Call Patrice. Maybe you're not even looking for an estate gate. Maybe you're looking for something for your garage door. Maybe you need a spring that broke. Maybe it's way too loud and it's waking the family up when you leave early in the morning. Maybe you just want something new for your home. Maybe you're building something new. I could go on and on and on forever with these maybes. Just know that you have friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. They've been in business for over 6 decades. Ryan, how many businesses can you think of that have been around for that many decades?
Only 4.
Only 4. McDonald's.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Walmart,
Coca-Cola,
garage door service,
garage door
sales,
service
and
sales.
Coca-Cola.
That's it.
Those top 4, those are, I think, the only ones.
Yep.
We haven't done the actual math on that or looked into it. But our best guesstimate is that they are the OG when it comes to garage doors. So why not go into their website, garagedoorserviceandsales.com, and remember the name if you ever need something done with your garage door, or if you ever want something new, or if you want to keep the damn new neighbors out. So you get an estate gate and you close it and you open it and it's automatic and it's so bougie and cool. And then you feel safe because you're home. That's where you should feel safe, and they help you do that. Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the podcast.